Hey everyone, and welcome back to Magic Game World. Let's be honest for a second. We're all here for the same reason, right? We've all felt that pull, that itch that only one very specific kind of game can ever truly scratch. I'm talking about that feeling, deep in your bones, when it's 3 in the morning, your eyes are burning, but you just have to click that button one more time. The just one more turn feeling. Of course, I'm talking about Heroes of Might and Magic. It's a legendary series, a cornerstone of our gaming lives, and for years, fans have been on a desperate quest for something, anything, that captures that same lightning in a bottle. Well, I've got some really good news for you. The genre is not just alive, it is thriving in some incredible ways. So today, we're going on an epic quest of our own to find 17 games that will fill that void in your soul. And we're going to start with the games that are, for all intents and purposes, the true heirs to the throne. These aren't just games that are like Heroes, these are the ones that follow that classic formula, that sacred loop of explore, expand, exploit, and exterminate with absolute faith. And that's exactly why we love them. Kicking us off is an upcoming title that is already making some serious waves, Stormbinders. Now, at first glance, this is everything a classic fan could want. You've got your high fantasy setting, your heroes leading armies, your big overworld map, and that crunchy, satisfying hex grid combat. But Stormbinders has a killer twist up its sleeve, and it's right there in the name. A randomized storm system. And I don't just mean a little rain for atmosphere. These are chaotic, magical storms that actively reshape the world around you, both on the global map and inside the battles themselves. An area that was a safe shortcut last game might be a raging magical death trap this time around. It's a brilliant idea that promises to make every single campaign feel fresh and dangerously unpredictable. Definitely keep this one on your wish list for its 2026 release. Of course, we have to talk about the potential return of the King itself. Also scheduled for 2026, we have the official Heroes of Might and Magic Olden Era. This is a prequel that, from everything we've seen and heard, is being crafted as a massive love letter to the classic games. It's got the 6 factions we know and love, including the Necropolis and the Dungeon, and the core Luke is pure, unfiltered heroes. The big new mechanical twist is a combat resource called Focus, which you build by dealing and taking damage to then unleash powerful, game-changing unit abilities. There is a mountain of pressure on this title, but if they pull it off, this could be the true return to form we've all been dreaming of. But look, if you can't wait until 2026, the current heir apparent is already sitting on the throne, and that is the absolutely magnificent Songs of Conquest. If you ask anyone in the community to name the best modern Heroes style game, 9 times out of 10, this is the game they're going to tell you about. The 2D pixel art is just gorgeous, a perfect blend of 90s nostalgia and modern polish that feels chunky and satisfying. The 4 factions are fantastic, the strategy is deep, and the single-player campaigns even feature these incredible evolving songs that literally tell the story of your conquests as you play. It has multiplayer, a map editor, it has everything. Honestly, if you play just one game from this list, make it this one. It's that good. Now, what if you love that core gameplay loop, but you're just a little tired of the same old swords and sorcery? Well, that's where Heroes of Science and Fiction comes roaring in. This game, which some of you might know by its old name, Silence of the Siren, is pure, unadulterated Heroes of Might and Magic, but in space. You're not exploring a fantasy kingdom, you're charting planets. You're not capturing sawmills, you're securing resource nodes, and you're not building a castle, you're upgrading a high-tech base to pump out legions of mechs and aliens. The hero, or commander, customization is incredibly deep, letting you level them up with skills and artifacts that can completely turn the tide of a battle, just like a perfectly spec'd hero in Might and Magic 3. It launched in 2024 and is already packed with content. So if you've ever wanted to trade your griffins for starships, you can do it right now. But what if you want more? I mean, what if you want a lot more? Then, my friend, you need to look at Pennon and Battle, which hit the scene in 2025. This game is a maximalist's dream come true. The developers basically took the Heroes formula and decided their goal was to pack it to the absolute brim with everything. We're talking 55 unique heroes, over 150 hero skills, 140 recruitable units that you can mix and match between factions. The sheer numbers are just staggering, and the theory crafting possibilities are insane. It's got every mode you can think of, including, praise the gods of strategy gaming, an 8-player hot seat mode. It's an absolute beast of a game for the player who wants endless options. Of course, if all of that sounds a bit overwhelming and you just want that classic, comforting feeling with a smart twist, there's 2024's Clash 2. This one feels like pure nostalgia fuel from the moment you boot it up. The exploration, the dark fantasy world, the city building, it's all spot on. But its unique identity comes from the combat. Instead of a simple back and forth, it uses a simultaneous turn system. You and your opponent plan your moves at the same time, and then they execute. This turns every battle from a simple tactical puzzle into a tense game of chess, where you're not just reacting, you're trying to predict and outsmart your foe's next move. It's a fantastic spin on a familiar system. And finally, to round out this first group, alright, let's get weird. Let's talk about CountryBalls Heroes. And yes, it is exactly what it sounds like. It's a full-on Heroes of Might and Magic clone where every single fantasy element has been replaced by the glorious absurdity of internet memes. Your main resource isn't gold, it's vodka. Your units aren't griffins and archers, they're plumbers, hussars, and cowboys. And your spells are literal memes based on iconic internet jokes. It is completely unhinged in the best way possible. But here's the crazy part. Underneath all the jokes and the sheer absurdity, it's actually a surprisingly solid and competent strategy game. If you love the Heroes series and have a great sense of humor, this game is way, way better than it has any right to be. So that's our first look. The games that stick faithfully to that classic, sacred blueprint. The ones that give us that pure, unfiltered experience we fell in love with all those years ago. They are a testament to how timeless that original formula really is. But the influence of Heroes of Might and Magic runs much, much deeper than that. For some developers, that classic formula wasn't a set of rules to be followed, it was a foundation to build upon. It was a launch pad to rocket off in wild, new, and exciting directions. What happens when that core DNA mutates and evolves?
Well, that's when you get the innovators, the games that share the spirit of Heroes but aren't afraid to break the rules and forge their own path. And you simply can't talk about this family of games without paying your respects to the grandfather of the entire genre, King's Bounty: The Legend. The original 1990 King's Bounty was the direct inspiration for the very first Heroes, but this 2008 revival is an innovator because it strips out the grand strategy to become a pure RPG adventure. There's no city management here, it's all about your hero, your army, and your personal quest through a charming, beautiful fairy tale world. It is an absolute classic. That heavy focus on character and story has inspired some incredible modern games, like the upcoming Liegecraft. This game asks a simple question. What if you combined Heroes of Might and Magic with Crusader Kings? The result is fascinating. You are the king, and your heroes are your vassals, each with their own personalities, ambitions, and petty squabbles. You have to manage their relationships and schemes just as much as you manage your armies. It's a brilliant blend of grand strategy and personal drama. And if you want your story to be even darker, then you need to be watching Disciples Domination. The Disciple series has always been the grim, gothic counterpart to Heroes high fantasy, and this entry leans into that hard. You play a specific character, Queen Aviana, ruling a crumbling kingdom while being haunted by her own power. It's a mature, character-driven narrative where your choices directly shape the world, all backed by that famously satisfying and brutal tactical combat. Now let's zoom out from personal stories to talk about the grand empire builders, the 4X titans of the genre. Leading that pack is the masterful Age of Wonders 4. Here, you don't just pick a faction, you create it. The customization is on another level, letting you craft anything from cannibalistic halflings to industrious mole people. Your race then physically evolves as you research new tomes of magic, turning into angelic beings or twisted demons. It's a masterpiece of player freedom in a sandbox of endless possibilities. And if Age of Wonders is about creating your own faction, then Endless Legend 2 is about mastering factions that are beautifully, profoundly alien to one another. Each one plays by a completely different set of rules, from a hive mind that eats its own to fuel its economy, to cursed knights who can't declare war but gain power from suffering. Add in a dynamic planet where the oceans literally recede to reveal new continents, and you have a strategic experience that never stops evolving. Before these modern titans, though, there were the old gods of magical warfare. You have to pay respect to the original granddaddy, Master of Magic. This is a remake of the 90s classic where you play as an all-powerful wizard vying for total domination. The magic system is legendary, with over 200 spells to research across 2 parallel dimensions. It's complex, deep, and makes you feel like a true magical overlord. And its spiritual successor is the wonderfully aggressive Warlock 2: The Exiled. Think of this as the angry, heavy metal cousin to Heroes. Diplomacy is not an option. Your only goal is to annihilate your enemies with overwhelming armies and world-shattering spells. It's a pure fantasy wargame, and it is an absolute blast. Finally, let's talk about the true rebels of the genre, the games that take a core pillar of the Heroes of Might and Magic formula and just gleefully shatter it into a million pieces. First up, there's the Dragoness Command of the Flame, which completely breaks the classic campaign structure. Why? Because it's a roguelite. You go on runs into an ever-changing world, and when you're inevitably defeated, you use what you've learned to permanently upgrade your capital and your hero for the next attempt. It's that incredibly addictive failure is progress loop that will have you hooked for hours. Then you have Broken Alliance, which takes the combat system and reinvents it from the ground up. This game is a deck builder. Your entire strategy in battle revolves around the cards you draw, which are based on the champions and artifacts that you've collected. It's a genius twist that feels like Heroes meets Slay the Spire, and it adds a whole new layer of tactical depth. And last but not least, we have Heroes Hour, a game that throws turn-based combat right out the window. The overworld is classic turn-based strategy, but the battles are glorious. Chaotic, real-time auto battles with hundreds, sometimes thousands of units smashing into each other at once. You're the general, casting spells and giving orders from on high, watching the beautiful mayhem unfold. It is pure, frantic, strategic fun. And there you have it. 17 incredible games, from the faithful heirs to the boundary-pushing innovators, all proving that the spirit of Heroes of Might and Magic is stronger than ever. The genre isn't just surviving, it's evolving in some of the most creative and exciting ways imaginable. It is an absolute fantastic time to be a fan. So what do you think? Which one of these are you jumping into first? Did I miss a hidden gem that you absolutely love? Let me know down in the comments below. I genuinely love reading through your suggestions and finding new games to play. If you enjoyed this deep dive and found a new game for your library, do me a huge favor and hit that like button. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Magic Game World for more deep dives into the best strategy games out there. Ring that notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next turn.